Hello, my fellow D&D YouTubers. My name is Dr. DM.
I'm Uncle N.
And today we're bringing you yet another campaign diary for Chronicles of Legends. No, sorry, Chronicles of Frostfire. Yes. Not there yet. Well, we're breaking down different arcs of this campaign.
Yeah, we're getting close to the end now.
We are, yeah. And we want to dissect them for you. You can watch these in any order because you're going to get a synopsis sort of what happened. And you can use this to take away cool ideas for your campaign or your games or you as a player.
Yeah.
So, yeah, today we are talking about time travel.
Yes.
the time travel
arc stuff.
Yeah, time travel arc here in D&D. So, all right, the players had just come from saving King Hecaton,
yes.
right, the King of the Giants.
And he told us where to find Emerith in our floating castle.
But what was the caveat?
It's surrounded by a field that we cannot get through. We have to find a way to get through the field, and it's Netherese magic.
Yes.
So now we got to find Netherese people, if we can find them anymore.
Yeah.
Which basically means looking for elves that may have been there.
That's right, because they have a very long lifespan. So
wouldn't know.
Yeah, or have ancestors, or more readily know this information. So it turns out that their ship's captain, Harlock of the sky ship,
which was now fixed up.
Yes, and he's the one who rescued you, from the waters there.
Yeah.
But he, being a citizen of Harua, knows a lot about magic, and he knows where he can find these people, exiles in the ruins of Slartithan or something like that.
Yeah.
In the Sword Coast. So you end up flying there.
And basically, if I recall, it almost had the kind of vibe of like those, Mexican ruins of the Inca.
Oh yeah,
and these long rows with kind of the mini pyramid buildings and stuff. It was, very much that look, all ivy colored and looking very abandoned. But we're finding like little hints that maybe people might still be around.
Yeah, it was a little creepy, but the aesthetic was really cool, and I like making sure that every place is unique in that way, crafting them a little bit visually or descriptively, right? So good point. And as they're looking around, they're not finding anything, but Basil, this is a ruin. These ruins were originally of the Yuan-ti, the Nagas, those kind of folk. And so he has a little bit of resonance here where he starts seeing some ley lines and then up following them, and they go to this convergence point.
Didn't we also have some group of snakes that were following us around while we were doing this?
Oh my god, yeah, this is the whole Six of Snake like meme you all are into. John, our player, really wants the Six of Snakes. It's an old spell from old editions. He really wants that. So a bunch of shenanigans, of course, as usual, trying to find the Six of Snakes. It's mythical. I might give it up one day.
But we had actual snakes following us because the whole Yuan-ti thing.
Yeah, true. So when they arrive at this convergence point, right? I was
fountain or whatever.
Yeah, I was when I was building kind of these encounters, these scenarios for the players. I was also trying to wrap up, because we're getting to the end of Chronicles of Frostfire, and I'm maybe you encounter this as a DM, you're kind of trying to wrap up loose ends, if you will, and I wanted to get to the end of, not at the end, but at least a stopping point to Enialis' story, and also Vahera.
Yeah.
Now, Vahera has had some issues with her father. Yeah, so you want to talk about that a little bit? Do you know?
So, her dad is another big bad from the past.
A Freet.
Yeah, very powerful Freet. We had a little mini campaign where we helped her defeat him. Yeah. We actually went to the Plane of Fire.
You did go to the Plane of Fire. It was pretty awesome.
We thought he was dead initially, and ends up Vahera had actually trapped him in a gem she was wearing around her neck.
So she didn't kill him.
Yeah, we didn't know this for quite some time. She was having little moments, and we were like, what's up with her? But this didn't come out till a bit later. And so this was kind of an ongoing thing. How do we deal with what's left of him or whatever?
And she was struggling with that because she had her dad with her the whole time in this gem.
Talking in her head.
Talking in her head. And I was going back and forth, and her dad is a real sick bastard.
Yeah.
Because as an Ifrit, not only do they kind of have a very sick, perverse way of dealing with their children. They're the Genasi, right? Kind of like half. So that was a really big struggle for her, and also struggle for you as a party to make sure she didn't kind of lose herself, right?
Yeah. And, I mean, she had lost her mom to this guy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
She'd been hunted by him for years.
I forgot about
early in our
that.
campaign, one of his agents,
Assassins or whatever. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
basically snuck up on her and slit her throat, and we had to save her from a death. In that instance, I mean, she was just done. So there's been a lot of drama with this in the past, and it kept coming up, and we needed to conclude this somehow, finalize him being
either dead or alive or whatever. Yeah, or whatever it's going to be. So I was thinking, how can I tie their two stories together? And one thing that they told me is that it ended up through pure coincidence of character creation. You and Vahera were both, well, she's a half elf, half Genasi.
Yes.
But her parents were from the same. You didn't even know this, but your parents you literally had parents from the exact same place.
Yes.
Or whatever. They're somehow related, or.
Yeah. So we ended up doing a little family tree figuring, and looking at ages and stuff, because Enialis, he's an elf. He's already over 200 years old. He's an older guy. But, elves are in their prime for a long time. So, my dad wandered around. I wandered around a lot. I wasn't at home much. I didn't know necessarily what was going on. So, I knew I had a little sister at one point. But I hadn't seen her in decades at this point. So, what if little sister got into some bad stuff and... ended up getting tricked into
summoning the
Ifrit, and the Ifrit impregnated her, and she had a little Genasi child who's angsty and roguish.
And this Ifrit wants to kill Genasi because they're kind of like happy to kind of bastard children, and they don't want them. They don't want them alive.
Yeah, the Ifrit are all about like, let's kill anything that's not Ifrit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They're not cool beings. So. Literally and figuratively. Yeah. So it turned out, and this was all Vahera had wanted this. This is her backstory. This is all her idea of her, this kind of tragic past that she wanted to work through, and we're getting to that.
Yeah.
And so it turns out in that way that your little sister was Vahera's mother.
Yes.
Who had been killed. So I told them, I was like, hey, we're gonna start concluding this. Not concluding like forever, but like for this campaign, we're gonna get to a point where hopefully it'll satisfy some of that narrative, path.
Yeah.
So all right. So I was like, how can I possibly do this and have this make any sense? So I was like, all right, I'm gonna revert to the best tired trope of time travel. So personally, and you know this, I detest time travel stories so much. But I was like,
I'm a huge time travel nerd.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so
I was like, okay, well, in D&D you can do it because Chronos has this like time conduit. It's kind of like this one stream of time, and you kind of go back and forth if he lets you, or if you're kind of able to take possession of it or whatever. So it's possible. And I was like, all right, we're going to work within the D&D lore more or less with some rule cooling. And so when they get to this fountain, getting back to where we originally were here, all right, there's a slash in the sort of space-time continuum. Yep. It opens up, and before them they see this world, which is not like their own, right? It's kind of what we would see like a sci-fi futuristic world. And who shows up?
Dad!
And did you know that? You had no idea.
No. I was like, oh, snap.
Yes, I love surprising night players being like, here's this dramatic thing. Go for it. Yeah. So, but you were really cool about it. And like, you were like, okay, this is my dad, and I'm going to help my dad because this is
Yeah. I mean, and of course,
family,
he actually proposes is using timey-wimey to go back and stop my little sister from getting killed by the Ifrit in the first place.
Exactly.
And, A, I'm helping Dad. B, I'm saving little sister. And at this point, we're now finding out that, that's Vahera's mom. I'm like, that's 3 birds with 1 stone. There's no way I'm not doing that.
So this is how deep like your character's backstory can go. I mean, look at this, like intertwined between 2 characters, and like there's multiple family tree relationships. It's pretty cool. Do it because you get to these really dramatic moments.
Yeah.
So Dad comes, and just like you said, he's like, I want to save my. So what happened was, Vahera, of course, had been around. I think she was a little girl when. Her mother was hunted, and she was hunted by her father. Jeez, oh my gosh, the Ifrit, and so the dad was like, "I'm going to go right to this point in time. I can do with this time magic. We can just alter just a little bit this point and try and kill the father before he kills the mother.
Yes.
Right? He kills Enialis, that's her, i.e. Vahera's mom.
Yep.
So Dad's like, are you going to come and do this with me? And Enialis is like, hell yeah. It's the Vin Diesel thing, like family or whatever.
Yeah.
And the other players are like, all right.
They're like, well, I guess we're coming along for the
ride. I was like, all right, well, you're all in it.
Vahera's, totally down with this.
Yeah. And
she's like, oh, I get to freaking kill that bastard again.
Well, at first they were like, oh, wait a minute, is this going to affect like this current timeline or whatever?
Yeah, true. We were a little worried about the timey-wimey
Which
stuff.
makes sense, and I totally get that. But at some point, when the D&D has kind of this like one, the time conduit is like one thing, and it can't really be altered. So it's just, I did the best I could with it. I think it worked out fine. Where, they did that. Yeah, self-correcting. And so once they took care of this, then everything would kind of be back to what it was with some little small tweaks. So, all right. So they travel back in time to this point, and they end up killing the Ifrit.
We end up in the village where he's attacking with this little group of subordinates. We have a pretty significant fight there. He's not willing to go down like that. Like,
super powerful Ifrit.
So,
who wants to take over like the city of Brass, or it was like, anyway.
Yeah,
spoilers.
So,
but yeah.
It's a significant fight. And you do get him.
You do, and Vahera has like these really epic words prepared. She's like, no, I have family now, and like, fuck you, and whatever. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, this is great.
Big character development thing.
Yeah. And someone mentioned at the end, I think Rob Martinez was like, one of the comments was like, Vahera finally learned what it was to have a family or something like that, throughout this course of this adventure.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool growth. And eventually the dad was like, I can't come back with you because I'm still being hunted by Kronos because he's altering the timeline.
Literally getting chased by them as
like
we're getting out of there. Yeah. So we had to basically kind of like, here, get out, take the stuff to help you.
Yeah.
I got to keep going.
And so they end up resolving that situation with Vahera. Vahera's father's finally, put to rest, put down, where she can now continue her own story. Not necessarily through her father. Enialis has found out that Vahera is her nephew.
But that would be a guy.
You're her aunt. You're her. Oh my god.
I'm the uncle. She's the niece.
Yes, the niece, and that's why you're Uncle N, right? She calls you Uncle N now. Got it. So
family.
Yeah, family. That's a tough concept for me to grasp. So, so they do that, and they successfully time traveled in Dungeons and Dragons. So it's possible. Just a little bit suspending disbelief, but you have to do for time travel anyway.
And this introduced more of the kind of rule for cool, develop your players in cool ways that are story.
Yeah, which is more. Exactly. It's more important for me to have a cool story in that way than if it's perfectly, to the.
So this is how Eni gets his next upgrade.
Oh yeah.
Is I've been as a character he's been slowly moving towards he went from just monk with key weapon archery to now he's an arcane archer because he's really focusing in on the long range stuff now. And all of a sudden Dad's like you're pretty good with that stuff. Here's some of my super secret timey-wimey folks kind of gear to set you up as a gunslinger.
As a gunslinger, yeah. Because I think you were kind of not sure where you wanted to take Enialis, especially as like a character, an archer. But
originally, yeah.
So did you ask me for the firearm stuff, or did I just...
You kind of took what we were going with and went, okay, that's a good solution for this idea that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like focusing him on
the range
being the rear, firing from distance, and being kind of the range DPS.
Yeah, so the idea, if you haven't watched this episode, watch it. It's fantastic with the time travel. The whole thing, I'm not sure how much you caught on to it, but the dad had basically come from like a cyberpunk era. He was stuck in like a cyberpunk era. And so, because I'd recently played Cyberpunk 2077. And, Choom. And so, it's all Nova. So, I decided to take that and do a cool thing, and also I had a bit of inspiration from Ciri and Geralt in The Witcher, where she was kind of stuck in the cyberpunk thing too. And so I ended up just giving Enialis some kind of like this cool cyber like tech gear within the D&D world. So he's kind of like decked out like techno gunslinger kind of thing.
Yeah, I got the kind of cyberpunk jacket and the IMAS like targeting thing, and I got this crazy like lightning rifle.
Yeah. It's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch of significant upgrades and a rebuild on the character again.
Yeah, which I think you wanted, right?
That's really continuing his development as he's realizing he really likes doing
range
weapons, and that's really where he's been specializing, like more and more and more so.
So work with your players. If you're not happy with their character, or their build, or whatever, let them change. But look at this. I made it where I did a whole time travel segment just to make him a gunslinger. Not just for that, but just we're solving their characters.
But yeah, definitely integrate it in the story though. That's all of our big character changes for all the players have been story integrated in one way or another. Basil getting powered up with the giant runes, and with John becoming a dragon, and all of this stuff. It's very important to integrate these things to make well, first of all, the characters just feel cool when they get this cool power up as part of a story versus just, here's some stuff to add to your character.
Here's a +1 longsword.
So,
which sometimes it's fine, but
but it's fun, and if your characters are happy, you're going to be happy as a GM.
And check with your players ahead of time. I usually at least get an inkling of what they want, and I'll kind of go full hog with it sometimes, and sometimes I'll get a little more from them, and so it just depends. So okay, I think this has been it for this this particular arc, the time travel arc of Chronicles of Frostfire. We're gonna get to the finale next time, where they're finally going to go up against Imrith.
Yes.
It's gonna be super epic. It's like it was a hell of a fight.
That was a rough one.
So okay. Well, thank you for watching this campaign diary. We hope that you found something useful. Please leave a comment below on your thoughts, or other things you can share with the community here.
Smite that like button.
Pew, 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 pew.
Subscribe.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. See ya.